Hello there. Dr. Bill Crawford here, psychologist, speaker, author of 7 books, host of 2 PBS specials. Here again to bring you another tip on how to help you create the life you want. Today I want to look at the subject of leadership. This is something I do a lot of training on, do a lot of writing about. A very important subject today because we really need good leaders. And in many ways, many of us are leaders, influential in other people's lives in all aspects of life, whether it's in our organization or our family or our community, whatever. The original quote says this: leadership is always better when it is caught than when it is taught. I love that. However, I think it leaves something out. And so I'm going to change the quote to make it this: leadership is always more caught than taught. So what does that mean? So initially the quote says, hey, it's better to model leadership so that people catch that, so they see what it's all about, than just kind of give them just a course on leadership. Nothing wrong with a course on leadership. It's important for people to have those skills. But just a course isn't going to do it if the leader within the organization is not modeling what good leadership looks like. You know, it's one thing to go to a course and say, yeah, you should be this, this, and this, but wait a minute, so-and-so isn't this, this, and this, and that undermines that. So of course, it's always better caught than taught, but I'm going to suggest it is always caught. In other words, people always look to the people who are in charge and start to form ideas about what a leader is. And this doesn't just happen in organizations. This starts when we are very, very young. So here we have our parents. You know, they're doing the best they can. They don't have a manual for this. They didn't get any training in leadership or being a parent. And they're just kind of stumbling through, doing the best they can, you know. So we learn from that. We kind of see that as what a leader is, what an influential person in my environment is. And we often bring that to our adult lives, to our roles as parents, to our roles as leaders within an organization. And you know, it's just a different experience when you are the parent of a child, when you're responsible for that person, and you have to pretty much watch what they do and keep them safe. A leader within an organization isn't about watching people, what they do, and keeping them safe. It's about motivating them to bring their best to the situation. However, we've got to recognize that we don't come to our organizations as blank slates. We have a lot of beliefs about what a leader is and what it's like to be led or what it's like to be influenced. If that hasn't been a positive experience in our past, we may resist the leaders that we find ourselves dealing with in organizations. Or if we have had a poor leadership model, maybe a poor parenting model when we were growing up, we may not be bringing the best idea of what a leader is to our organizations. So, what can we do? Well, number one, I think we want to make sure we're taking responsibility for who we are as a leader. There's a concept that I use in my seminars. I call it the videotape concept. It basically says leaders should be willing to interact with everyone within their organization or their family in such a way that that interaction could be videotaped and used as a training film for how they want people to interact with everyone else in their organization and family and everyone outside their organization and family. Now, I know that puts a lot of pressure on leaders, but here's the thing. We are always being watched. We may or may not be videotaped, but we are being watched, and people are learning from that. So what we want to do as a leader is make sure we are modeling the kind of qualities and characteristics that we want our people, our kids, to take over, to emulate. When we do, we're coming from this upper 80% of our brain, what I call the top of the mind. We're not just reacting the way we've been taught by old leaders. We are purposefully choosing the qualities and characteristics that we want our people to emulate. When we do that, we're coming from this clear, confident, creative part of the brain, the top of the mind, that neocortex, and we become more purposeful. And even if we do something that isn't particularly effective, we go, okay, good information, and we can change it because it was done purposely in the first place. So if you are a leader within your family, within your organization, within your peer group, if you want to be a leader, if you want to be influential in other people's lives as you go forward, I'm going to encourage you to hold on to this concept that leadership is always more caught than taught. We certainly want to teach leadership. We want to give people the skills, and we want to show them what a leader looks like when he or she is being purposeful in bringing certain qualities and characteristics to life. If you want me to come to your organization and do something on leadership so we are able to access these qualities and characteristics regardless of the situation, all you got to do is go to my website, billcrawfordphd.com, or just Google Bill Crawford. I'll come up on the first page. Hit the contact button, let me know what you're interested in, and I would love to talk with you about that. In the meantime, here's to you bringing more clarity, confidence, creativity into everything you do. More clarity about who you are as a leader, so that when someone is catching it by watching you, you know they're catching what you want them to catch. More confidence in your ability to go into any situation and access these qualities and deal with life more creatively. More clarity, confidence, creativity in everything you do, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.